Welcome back everyone, and I thought this was a perfect time to have a discussion about ERLC in its current state and what we can expect in the coming few months. If you do enjoy, please do consider subscribing as we're nearing to 400,000 subscribers. Let's get into this. The last few weeks have been pretty interesting in PRC with a lot going on. 2 updates releasing back to back after what was a month or 2 hiatus after the Police Week updates, and the fact that Show My G is now back after a year's absence from the development. He does seem to be back and actively working on all of the latest updates in the game, which is really great to see. There's one thing I did want to discuss about and kind of clear the air on it because I've seen it talked about so much, especially over the last week. And it's less pertaining to the updates and more pertaining to myself and the other content creators. A lot of people seem to be under the impression that PRC have hired us content creators to basically say good things about the game at all times and not criticize any of the updates. As crazy as it does seem, no, we're not under any sort of contract with PRC. Myself, Officer John, Amaze, Ruffles, whoever it may be, we're able to say whatever we want. I think that's the same with the moderators, same with the testers. No one is really under any sort of obligation to say good things about the game. I won't speak on anyone else's behalf, but for me personally, I've been playing the game for over 5 years now, and my channel really wouldn't be where it is today without this game. And so I really do want the best for this game. I am very positive about pretty much any update regardless of its size, so I can see why people would think that PRC have almost hired us as propaganda for the game. But no, we're free to say whatever we want, and I really just enjoy any sort of update to the game, honestly. If you look at many of the other Roblox driving and roleplay games, some of those get updated maybe a couple times a year. Southwest Florida hasn't been updated in, what, 1-2 years now? So I think that is all we really need to say about the topic, but I'll give you my brief honest opinion of the last 2 updates though. I think the newly remodeled interiors and stuff like the fire station, really nicely done. I really like the detail inside, and I hope they carry that over and do a revamp of the DOT station and sheriff's office soon, because that would look so good. I'm optimistic about the new house fires. I like the fact that they spread, and I can definitely see this being a positive change, especially when they move this over to brush fires. And if they can do something good with that, I think we can have some really nice role plays in Hyro Park. And vehicle interiors, well, I really like them. I think they're great for roleplay. It's pretty cool now that you can actually see inside. The level of detail I'm not really too concerned about, because you're not really going to spend much time sitting in first person actually driving. It's more the fact that you can actually see who's sitting in the car. Now, with that all out of the way, we can move on to talking about the August update, and this looks like it's going to be good. Now, I've talked about Lost Infinity's messages a lot, especially over the past few days in streams, and as well in a separate video, but I'm just going to go over it again briefly. The update we got, including the new building interiors, is technically a quality of life update. It wasn't meant to be a massive update, as we can see here. The small update will be a quality of life with the new features. The big update will be fun. And then he starts talking about the scheduling. We have a small update, then a big after. The small update will be soon in August. That was a week ago. Obviously, the update has just released. And then probably early in August and late in August. So most likely can expect this big August update, I'd say about 2 to 3 weeks from now. Law enforcement vehicles will have cages and other props eventually. With this update, we got laptops, siren boxes, and radios inside the car. Hopefully cages aren't that far away either, because that would be a really nice addition for that. I'm not sure if that will be in this next update, but it'll definitely be in the fall sometime. The only real confirmed update coming this August is the fact that FD will get an updated truck. That's all I'm going to say. So the fact that he said an updated truck doesn't make me think this will be a new vehicle, and rather something like the engine or the tanker. So take a look at this. We've got a collection of the best ERLC photoshops. Everything from classic brush trucks to tiller trucks. We've even got the, well, it's not a Mercedes Sprint van, it's a Ford Transit van over there. But the new truck could definitely be an iteration of a current vehicle. I doubt it'd be something as drastically different as a tower or a tiller, but I don't know. It's always cool to look at these and really impressive. I found this a few days ago on stream, and they essentially cut off the front of the new Ford F450, put an ambulance on the back. It looks so good, and I think an ambulance makes so much sense for an interior because you can actually roleplay in there. It makes a lot of sense to have one in the back and the cab as well. So I really do hope we see an ambulance interior. Maybe that's the truck, maybe not. Then just a few days later, he goes on to talk about window tint. So someone was saying we need window tint to hide the undercover lighting. because now you can see inside, you can see the police officer sitting in the driver's seat, you can see the ELS boxes in the window. So Lost Infinity responded saying, already planned, will take some time just because we need to change the way windows function. We have a lot of interior content planned. I do hope this means that they'll be separating the windows from the car, essentially so we can shoot through the windows. Not necessarily from in the car like the new thumbnail. A lot of people are talking about that, being able to shoot out of cars, but rather actually being able to shoot into cars. And so if you're sitting in a car, you're not invincible, if that makes sense. Now, going on to Crywing's profile on Roblox a bit, you can see he's currently in studio. He always seems to be. I do believe he leaves his computer on 24/7, 365 days a year, because he is pretty much never out of studio. But if we go to his creations, there was a new game created around 2 or so weeks ago called VC Testing. And funny enough, you could actually play this game. Now, this is a bit from Eclipse Plays' live stream around 10 days ago now. And this is him actually hopping in to play the game. But as you can see, there's nothing in the game. So I'm guessing it's some back-end scripts he's working on. Obviously, we can't see any of that. And maybe there's some UIs as well that only he can see. My best guess is that this is some sort of voice chat radio or maybe even phone, similar to what Maple County has. But as of right now, there's not really any way of knowing. As I was saying, games like Maple County and I believe a couple of the smaller Fire roleplay games already do have voice chat radios, and some even have actual VC phone calls. It's possible in Roblox now, so I definitely think that is something they're working on, as I can see so many of the public roleplay servers using that. I do have a couple of questions pertaining to how this is going to work. Is there going to be some sort of priority system? Is there one person talking at a time? Because I'm sure we can all imagine the kids screaming down their microphones into the radio. And it's probably also going to be some sort of setting in private servers, so they can either change between the text radio or VC radio. So again, all of this is theoretical, but I think that is something we should keep an eye on. To wrap up this segment talking about future and upcoming updates, we're just going to talk about all of the ones that have been confirmed in some way or another. Ched, who is the vehicle chassis scripter, who was hired, I believe, in February of this year, has been working away on his own dev studio under High Voltage Group. I did a video on his testing place and stuff, so you can go and check that out. It's really cool. Again, we're not going to be getting the same amount of detail in ERLC, but even just better suspension, drifting, and handling of the cars would be incredible. So I'm very excited about that, and I think a new vehicle chassis would really make the game feel fresh, because we've been on the same one basically since launch. Vehicle customization definitely took a step forward in the quote-unquote summer update, when they added things like wings and being able to customize the roofs on convertibles. So I'm excited to see that kind of develop more, especially if they're kind of doing something with vehicle chassis. Then maybe we can have actual engine customization and being able to upgrade the performance of your car in the future. Gun customization is another one that was confirmed in a Q&A over a year ago now. I think it still is in the works, because even during that Q&A, they were working on it. I just think it is a very large project, but hopefully we can see something come of that in the coming months. So I think PRC is getting to a good place. And I think we were right with that video we made just over a week ago, saying that Sean was back and things were kind of moving forward. It definitely does seem so. Lost Infinity said here on the PRC Discord, bi-weekly, give or take a week or two is the plan. Unless it's a major update, then it can take a bit longer. So they definitely are returning back to more regular updates, as we have so clearly seen with the 2 updates back to back. I'm really looking forward to the last 4 months of this year. I definitely think PLC have been working on a lot of long-term projects. I'm not sure if we'll see any of those by the end of this year, but I'm still sure there will be a lot more updates than we got in the first half of this year. So anyways, thank you for watching this video. Just wanted to take a bit of time to talk about the state of PLC, reflect on the past 2 weeks of updates, which has been a lot of fun, streaming pretty much every day, lots of uploads. It's been really enjoyable, actually. Felt a lot more like the days back in 2022. So again, looking forward to what's left in this year. We've still got 4 months left, and I definitely think the PLC can do a lot with that. So if you did enjoy, please do consider subscribing. Look out for a lot more content to come soon. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.